Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're actually going to be talking about a few things. We're going to be talking about XRP. We're also going to be talking about HBAR just briefly, and then we're going to be talking about Bitcoin dominance, and pretty much the entire market, as well as some concerning factors that I am seeing pop up in the market. So with that being said, let's jump into it. Let's talk about a few things and let's get into it. So before we jump fully into the video, I just want to ask you guys, if you are enjoying the daily crypto content, definitely leave a like on this video. Also comment down below your favorite asset to hold right now and why. And with that being said, let's jump into it and let's refresh. So overall, the market has been sitting around the $2.10 trillion market cap now. This goes back to even last week. We've been ranging around this zone for a fairly long time, kind of just consolidating, if you will. I still think that we are playing into the September 27th time zone for us to be back on track. But overall, Bitcoin is ranging here. I honestly want to see us range to about 47.5K, actually break above that. I think that that would be very bullish for us. Overall, we do see Ethereum ranging around the $3,300 to $3,400 level. The market is up 2.20%. But the only thing that's concerning me with Bitcoin right now is just the Bitcoin dominance, which we're going to be talking about here shortly. But we do see even XRP ranging around that $5 to $10 zone. Most altcoins are still up significantly. We even see HBAR actually creeping into the top 30 at number 38, up 77.19% on the 7-day span, which is absolutely crazy. And this is just fluctuating all day. It is actually coming up to flip EOS, which is very interesting to see. But overall, we've been seeing a lot of news regarding HBAR, so obviously HBAR was going to move in price. But the market is what I'm very kind of concerned on right now, because it doesn't matter what kind of gains HBAR is making right now, because we also have to look at what is the bearish factors of the market. So with that being said, let's jump in and let's talk about the first one. So we're going to be talking about Bitcoin dominance. So as you guys already know, I've been watching Bitcoin dominance like a hawk lately, especially considering the fact that right now, it looks like it is looking like a very bearish divergence. And when I say bearish, I mean bullish, because this, when we start to increase in dominance, that is actually very bearish for the market. And you might be wondering, well, why? Well, because Bitcoin is going up as Bitcoin dominance is going up, which means altcoins are not going to move significantly at all. So if Bitcoin does drop a little bit, it's going to take our alts with it very, very hard. So we could be seeing a little bit of a sell-off pressure happening in September before September 27th, which would play perfectly into the market cycle. Now, this would obviously hurt HBAR as well, because it would probably bring us down below the all-time high at 46 cents. So overall, what I'm watching for right now is just Bitcoin dominance to kind of play its role. I'm waiting to see if it's going to top out at resistance at about 40, almost 2%. Maybe retest 40% or even lower. It all depends. Overall, though, this looks like a very bearish divergence for the overall market, as it does flip bullish in terms of its upward path. So with that being said, I'm watching Bitcoin dominance very, very closely here, as well as the indices. So if we actually look at the indices, yesterday I told you guys that we closed fairly red. Now today we closed even worse, right? We're down about 292 points on the Dow Jones. We're down about 60, almost 8 points on the NASDAQ, and down about 26 points on the S&P 500. Now I'm going to open all three of these real quick, just to kind of show you guys some in-depth price charting for those. Now obviously the S&P 500 doesn't look too bearish, which we're going to be talking about. The NASDAQ, I didn't really kind of look at in terms of the price chart, but I did see the Dow Jones looks very bearish for us, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about why. So while all of these load, we're going to be talking about specific things. For an example, the Dow Jones, right? So the Dow Jones usually never breaks below the 100-day MA, but we just seen it break below the 100-day MA. Now I know that we creep below it a little bit on the 10th before re-grasping it and actually flipping a little bit bullish. But what happened right now is we rejected the 50-day MA and broke below the 100-day MA, and we haven't really seen this at all for a very, very long time, except for going back to October 2020. Now, this wasn't too crazy at all, but as you guys do see, we couldn't really re-grasp that zone. It took a little bit of time before we actually got there. But overall, this could be a little bit of a short sell-off pattern. But overall, I mean, this looks, fairly bearish in my sense. Now, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about something, and that goes back to even the March of 2020 drop. So obviously, this was like a free fall event. This was during COVID where stocks basically crashed. A lot of more people were pulling their money out. I'm not saying that we're going into a crash or anything like that, but I'm going to be clarifying that overall right now. So obviously, we broke below all three MAs. We haven't broke below all three MAs for a very long time since then. But what's very bearish right now is just the fact that we rejected the 50-day MA and we basically broke below the 100-day MA. So could we be retesting possibly the 200-day MA, which we did back here in October of 2020 as well? Now, obviously, this will flow through the crypto market too. We'll see an influx throughout the entire market, which wouldn't be too crazy, to be completely honest with you, because even if we look at Bitcoin in the 4-year cycle, going back to 2017, 2018, we seen some bearishness throughout September, and then we ranged for October to really be the month of opportunities in terms of, percentage gains. Now, overall, I still think that September 27th is the date to look for. Now, in regards to that, I'm also watching the S&P 500. Now, the S&P 500 does not look at all very bearish. Looks like it's just retesting the 50-day MA, but I'm going to be watching these three very closely, especially the Dow Jones. So overall, when we look at the NASDAQ here, so the NASDAQ doesn't look bad at all, honestly. Looks actually very bullish, to be completely honest with you. Looks like we might retest the 50-day MA, which is totally fine. I don't really mind that at all. Now, overall, what's the main pinpoint to watch for these indices is just a major nice open tomorrow. I want to see the Dow Jones back above some key support. I think that would be the bullish settlement for us. Now, obviously, we do see that they have the sell rating, which is, it's nothing too crazy. Like, I'm not going to be, bearish or bullish in regards to stocks, because stocks could be fluctuating here with what's happening in, the world right now. But I will say this, in terms of Bitcoin dominance combined with the Dow Jones breaking below that level, as well as the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ also being fairly bearish, that is concerning factors. Now, 292 points isn't too crazy in regards to stocks, but we haven't been having, any rallies lately. So would it be too crazy to say that these are kind of topping out? Would it be too crazy to say that a lot of these assets are starting to taper off? And with these equity markets kind of fluctuating, right? Would it be crazy to say that more of this money will actually flow into crypto and actually have us have that massive bull run this year? Because that would be very interesting to see. Now, obviously, there's a lot of things to watch for in regards to that. Now, I'm also watching Bitcoin, as Bitcoin is kind of ranging. Like I said, with Bitcoin dominance, it is ranging here. It looks like it's kind of hitting some resistance points here, which is totally fine. It's at about 46,800. Now, if we break this, I think that we could close in on about 47.7. I think that will be very bullish for us. I think it will put us back on the map for this nice upward momentum, which would also play into the fact that we're kind of, instead of this lengthening, it would actually be a shorter divergence pattern that we're basically trading in. So maybe by like the 20th of September, which is like about 6 days from now, we'll basically be back in that nice bullish pattern of upward momentum to the all-time high plus. Who knows? I'm going to be watching this very closely here as well. Now, obviously, watch all of these patterns because they all play a key role in XRP. So, with XRP has been trading on the support zones for fairly long. I don't need to tell you guys that. I kind of told you guys that yesterday. The major thing to watch for right now in terms of XRP is the break below this level at about $1. I don't want to see $1 being broken on XRP because, as you see, that is actually a major resistance point as well. I want to see that flipped into support, which we have been holding fairly strong. I know that we had that nice little wick below it before we re-grasped it very fast on about the 7th of September. Overall, we've been trading in this nice sideways momentum, kind of building a floor, if you will, but I still think that we see a little bit more bearish price action happening on XRP. I know it sucks to see, but I think that we could retest possibly, the 200-day MA down at about 92.5 cents. We might even see a little bit lower. We could see 85 cents being retested. It is what it is. But overall, it depends on the market, right? Because we're also watching the market closely to see the price influxes on XRP. But I still think that by this time here, by the 27th of September, I think that XRP will be back on track to retest $2 plus, and I think that we will be at all-time highs by around the end of October into November for that nice bearish, or not bearish, bullish price action being relayed on the price chart. Now, obviously, I'm watching HBAR closely as well because I don't want to see HBAR lose its overall price targets up here at the all-time high plus, because right now, if we did break below this, and we actually broke below the all-time high somewhere down here, there's a lot of resistance points that we could break below, and there's not too much support in this level here. So if we did break below this and started to free fall, depending on what Bitcoin does in regards to Bitcoin dominance, we could see HBAR back down into the 40s, maybe even the 38-cent zones, because the only major support zone now is technically down at 38.6. I personally don't want to see that happen, but we could see that, especially considering the fact that we have this major news on the 16th. It could be bearish for us because, you already know the saying, buy the news, sell the actual announcement, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. It might be the idea of sell the news, playing into it, or buy the news, because the news could be good or it could be bad. For an example, if they come out and say, I don't know, that HBAR is working with the Indian banks for CBDCs, I think a lot more people will FOMO in. But if it's just something like, bland, I think people will most likely sell and capitalize on that. So I don't know. It's one of those things where a lot of people will buy the rumor and sell the news. That's basically what I was trying to say. Sorry. But overall, I don't know. There's a lot of clear signs right now in the market that are telling me that we could see some bearishness. Even in regards to Ethereum. Ethereum dominance is breaking down because a lot more money is actually kind of flowing into Bitcoin right now, especially even in regards to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is ranging, so obviously Ethereum dominance is going to lose some. We also see Ethereum kind of just ranging with, what XRP is kind of doing, right, in that nice little momentum zone. Now, obviously, I'm also watching the dollar. The dollar looks like it's kind of gaining some traction here. I still think it's kind of topping out here at about some resistance at 92.74, so I think that is kind of bullish for us. It has been holding the 50-day MA closely, though, as support, so I'm watching as we see some influxes on the dollar. I don't want to see 93.44 actually be broken, which is this line up here, because as you guys do see, that is some major resistance. So if we see a breakout on this, that would be bearish for us. So those are some of the key signs to watch for. I think that we could see some volatile price action throughout this week, even going back on the weekly chart. So currently right now, we are trading in on the September 13th weekly chart. If we go back to 2017, 2018 back here, so we even see back here on the September 13th zone. So here is September 13th, basically around this zone. It was still red until September 25th, which is where I basically think that we're still ranging to get that nice momentum upward. So who knows? It could be a little bit earlier. We could see somewhere between September 20th to the 27th before we get back into momentum. I don't know. Honestly speaking, if we go back to the cycle, it looks like this week could be very bearish for us. We do see, Bitcoin dominance ranging, so that's not a good sign in regards to Bitcoin going up, because that means altcoins are not going to move. So if we do break down from here, it would be crucial for a lot of altcoins to kind of hold their support zone. So overall, I'm watching Bitcoin kind of range here, maybe to make, a nice little move above the 48K zone. I'm also watching Bitcoin dominance as well, because Bitcoin dominance is on the move. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.